All right, everyone, here's the third and final video that comes out of the Rifter number 17. We're talking about blood magic. Now, this harkens back to the Rifter number 2. After you're done, or you can pause it now and watch the video on Rifter number 2, which is on this YouTube channel, to understand about the Blood Shaman OCC. Now, before, they didn't have a lot of spells. Well, these are the spells. We're going to look at the spells of the Blood Shaman, why they're so much stronger than spells of a comparable level. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you right now. Well, not right now.
Don't be mean to me.
I'm not going to be
chat.
mean to you.
No. Chat's being mean to me right now.
Oh, well, chat can be mean to you. That's fine. Here we go. Blood Magic, 79. Blood Magic. Is that gross looking? Yes, blood magic is gross. That's part of the theme. That's the shtick. Below are a few new spells. A few. There's more than a few. Spells for the Blood Shaman OCC presented in Rifter number 2. Blood magic is a gruesome, disgusting art in which the shaman actually spills his own blood to create magical effects, thus inflicting damage upon himself with every spell. That's why these spells are going to seem stronger. Like, God dang, that's a first level spell? What the hell? That's huge. Yeah, because he's got to cut himself and take hit point damage.
I'm in.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm telling you, I'm out.
Let me rephrase that. As a person, I'm out. As a player in a game, this is the type of stuff I love.
Oh, he can barely handle a pinprick.
Oh, yeah.
Just pass out. Anyway, bleeding eyes. Level 1. Listen, out of the gate, let's go full horror show.
Yeah.
Right? Damage to caster, 1d6. And you have to spend 6 PPE. That's huge. Do you get a PPE discount? No. You got to do that and spill your own blood. The shaman must physically touch the victim near the eyes. Immediately, the victim starts to bleed profusely from the eyes, causing blindness. No amount of cleaning can help, as this is a magical blindness. It is just blind with extra steps. The extra steps is freaking everybody out.
Where's the horror factor?
It doesn't talk about horror factor, but it does talk about horror factor with other stuff. So I would just throw that in here too. Bleeding tears. This one's a horror factor of 14. This one's kind of fun. It's also a PPE of 6 and 1d6 damage to the caster, but the eyes look like they were gouged out and are constantly weeping. The victim will feel as though his eyes are fine, maybe a little irritated, but everyone else looking at him has to roll horror factor 16 or freak the hell out. Which I get. Your eyes look like they're gouged out and bleeding, little whole bleeding stump. That's horrible.
What? I don't. What's wrong, guys? What are you talking about?
What? You look in the mirror like, I'm fine. What are you talking? There's no blood. The victim can't see this. Everyone else can. It's horrible. It's gross. Let's go down a little bit. Bleeding pit. Here we go. Duration 10 melees per level. Saving throw none. Just avoid it. That's it.
I love that.
Don't fall in the bleeding pit. Don't do it. What does it do? Well, it does 2d4 plus 2 damage to the caster. This is straight to hit point damage, people. This is no joke. So what?
Wait, this doesn't come off STC. This comes off hit points.
No, it's hit points. Well, it was in the Blood Shaman OCC. It's spelled it out there, if I remember correctly. So
okay, I changed my mind.
But even if it's SDC, I mean, you are a magic user. You don't got a lot. You're not a man at arms. You don't got a lot. You probably don't have wrestling and bodybuilding to buff yourself up a little bit.
I do now.
Well, yeah, you would now. Yeah, but no. This spell creates a 100 square foot, 9 square meter area that looks like a pit filled with boiling blood and smells awful. Okay, boiling blood smells awful. Check. Those who step into the pit feel the burning warmth of the blood as they begin to sink. After sinking up to their knees, the sinking stops, but it will take them a full melee round to struggle free of the tar-like pit of blood.
Who walks into this?
If you don't have a choice, that's it. Don't have a choice. Trying to walk through the pit to the other side will take 1d6 plus 4 rounds and will leave one a bloody mess. This is something you put in the way to slow people down. Like, it's a hallway. You have to get to the hallway to get to the bad guy. The bad guy throws a bleeding pit in the hallway. Well, someone's going swimming.
Can I throw bear traps at the bottom of it?
I suppose you could. I don't see why not.
Nice.
Level 4, Bleeding Fist. This is the same thing as the Fist of Fury spell in Federation of Magic. It does 1d6 damage to you, but it also does a certain amount more damage to the other person once you punch them, but we don't know because I don't have the Federation of Magic book and I forgot where the PDF is, so neither now. Bleeding Veins of Insanity. This one's fun. This one's super fun. You're going to love this. Bleeding Veins of Insanity. This is you take a weapon, any weapon you want, and you curse it. The curse will last until the end of time or until it's used once. This is what it does. When you hit someone with the Bleeding Veins of Insanity cursed weapon, they will instantly become insane. One random insanity for 1 hour per level of experience of the caster. But for every year it sits there, for every year it's not used, it gets +1 insanity.
Oh, that's awesome.
So after, say, 5 years of nobody being cut with this weapon, and you finally cut someone, they get instantly 6 random insanities. Instantly. 6 random insanities for 1 hour per level of experience of the caster. Now, is that the caster as in now or the caster when he casts the spell? That's up to the game master. I would say when he casts the spell.
Soda.
Yeah, it's up to the game master. But hot damn, son. And this is not something that is done like in the moment. This is something you prepare for. This is something you spend a weekend doing. At the end of the weekend, you're bloody and awful because it's 3d6 plus 2 damage to yourself every time you cast a spell. But you cast a spell 3 or 4 times, you got 2 or 3 weapons in reserve that can age like beautiful, insane wine. That when you finally use them, it's a game changer. That's crazy. Level 5, Hemogoblin. The creature, you create a small goblin that's like 6 inches high that rests on your shoulder out of blood. It eats blood to live. Okay. You just sick it on people. Sick them. All right. It's like an angry gremlin. It's all teeth. It's going to eat you up.
I think it would have been funny if you actually would have used the real word.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Hemoglobin.
Yep. Hemophilia. Insidious spell does no damage, but prevents normal healing. Even those with regeneration, if they're alive, doesn't work on vampires, stop it. If they're alive, it even works on regeneration, natural regeneration, like, oh, I heal 1d4 times 10 MDC per hour. No, you don't. Not for as long as this spell is active. Magical or psionic healing may work, but every time someone does it, you have to roll a save. If you fail the save, the healing has no effect. Okay.
Dude, that talking beheaded spell, guillotine somebody, say, got any last words?
Gross. Yes, the talking beheaded spell is gross. Someone is beheaded for 5 minutes per level of experience. After the head was chopped off, you can cast this spell and bring them back to consciousness for 15 seconds per level of experience. So what I would do as a blood shaman, because all blood shaman are evil. No, they're not. Shut up. All blood shaman are evil. What I would do is cut off a guy's head, bring him back to life, and let him watch me kill his family right in front of him. And then have him die again. Choice torture. For the horrible and depraved. But that's all blood shamans. So there you go. Level 7, Bloodbath, similar to Vascular Eruption, but affects all people in a target area. Vascular Eruption is making people's veins explode. Now you can do it as an AoE. That's gross. Blood wine. This is a good one. This one is turns ordinary water into drugged wine. Those who fail a save when drinking it fall asleep for 3d4 days. Days. That's a long time, man. That's a very long time. Well, to cast it, you have to take what? How much damage? 3d6 plus 4 damage. You're creating 1d4 gallons of wine. And remember, you're a spellcaster. Your SDC starts at 20 or maybe even 15, depending on the system. So you don't got a lot to begin with. And if it goes straight to hit points like I believe it does, then you don't have a lot at all. So think about it. Now, if you recall back to the Rifter number 2, there are ways where the Blood Shaman can cause the damage on other people, very much like ritual magic, where you can steal PPE from somebody. You can have someone take the damage for you, as long as they're a sacrificial victim or whatever. That's fine. But that means
since we know they're all evil,
yeah, that's how we know they're all evil, right? That's how it works. So yeah, there are ways around it, but for the most part, you're cutting yourself. That's why all blood shamans are scarred and horrible, missing limbs or eyes or noses or whatever. They're all messed up. They haven't been in a lot of fights. They've cut themselves like little emo girls a lot to get.
They carry razor blades under their tongues.
Yes, they have to cut themselves to get their magic to work. So there you go. That is blood magic. And if you liked the Blood Shaman and you wanted to use Blood Shaman outside of Wormwood in Rifts or in Palladium Fantasy, now you can. You have spells that are Blood Shaman, blood magic specific spells that are absolutely horror show crazy and incredibly thematic for a Blood Shaman. So what do we have for any comments?
I only started one. There's actually a bunch of funny comments that people put out there, but I only put one. And that's from Mythical Fool. He says, I've always found blood magic in fantasy to be interesting. Sacrificing Vitae for a higher effect or magic potential always makes for a good story. Blood for the blood god.
Exactly. I mean, there is no story about medieval societies without either the outright addition to or allusion to sacrifices. And sacrifices are always about the blood, because the blood creates life. The blood holds life in it. Vampires suck blood for the very same reason. Blood is life. There you go.
I like Earthdawn's implementation of it because, various levels of magic in Earthdawn, some very low-level magic, potion type stuff, glowing lamps, whatever. Mid-level magic is the blood magic.
Yes.
And I always talk about the creepy one because this is the creepiest one, let's be honest. The targeting eye. It's a gem. It's a gem with a worm in it. You put it over your eye, it eats your eye, replaces your eye, but you get a +2 to strike. In simply, and you permanently give up a hit point.
Because your eye is gone. Yeah. It is just gone. You can remove the targeting eye and the worm. You're not going to get your eye back. It's a socket now.
Yeah. It's one of the few, to be fair, that you can't actually get to the hit points, we'll just call it, back. That unfortunately is one of them, and it says it eats your eye. But there are many other items that do something similar. It was a blood pebble armor. You actually put these little things underneath your skin, empower it with your blood, and now you actually have a pretty decent armor and magic defense. So,
but you can remove it, and you get those points back because you didn't lose your blood, you didn't lose your flesh. It's just now this magical item is not siphoning it off for power anymore. But targeting eye and astral eye.
Does Astral Eye do the same thing?
Astral Eye does the same thing.
Okay.
Yep, it eats your eye.
So if you have a targeting eye here and an Astral Eye there, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, take out those gems and you got no sight at all. But with them both in, oh man, you're seeing magic, you're seeing all kinds of stuff. You got basically have Superman vision, the Bionic Man, vision, because you have +2 to hit. But you take that stuff away and you're just a blind guy walking around. Oh. Not well, I'll tell you that much.
Well, about the Blood Shaman, I can't remember my thoughts on the Blood Shaman. For some reason, in my head, I have it that I didn't really care for the Blood Shaman too much. These spells, on the other hand, though, I actually liked thematically. I liked them.
Thematically, they're all crazy.
Yeah. I would have to go back and look at the Blood Shaman to see if it'd be an OCC that I'd want to play. But thematically, I like stuff like this. I'm always for magic that comes at a price of some sort, whether it can turn you into a Sith Lord, or it can mutate you into something, or you have to give up your blood or somebody else's blood to do it. And one of the reasons I like the Nethermancer, Necromancer, whatever so much, Heathen Dog earlier in a different video said that being a good necromancer is difficult. Well, I played a few good necromancers, but there are limitations to what you can do with it if you do that, though. So, I like these things conceptually. I don't want to inherently, unless the book says it, I don't want to inherently say that the Blood Shaman has to be evil. But man, in order to do all the stuff that would really make you cool, you're gonna have to walk down that path at some point.
Yeah, if you're not evil, you're playing the part really well.
Right.
Like, congratulations, you're acting as Oscar worthy, and you still say you're not evil? All right, sure. Okay. No one believes you after you make people bleed from their eyes for days. No one believes you're not evil. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. But yeah, anything else?
Nope, I only started the one.
All right, cool.
So, okay,
and
cool.
That would be it.
All right, well, with that, let me get the thingy on the screen here. I can't find my thingy. There we go. Well, what do you think of the Blood Shaman? More importantly now, because you can comment on that, and apparently Rifter number 2, what do you think of these new spells for the Blood Shaman? How about this? Let me go one step further. Would you use these spells for anybody else? Would you give anybody else access to these spells?
That is a good one. I mean, technically, you don't need to be a Blood Shaman to use blood magic. Maybe a Blood Shaman taught you to use blood magic, but you still have to cut yourself. Would you allow that? I don't know.
Yeah, that's let us know what you think. And please, of course, as always, like, subscribe, and share. And we hope to see you next week when Kevin and Sean are here to talk about Palladium games as a framework, or I should say the system as a framework, and how to kit bash multiple settings into one.